should.
All right, we are live here. I am sending out my message to everyone. Perfect. All right, this is episode 10 of the SFA and Chill podcast. Kind of amazed we've made it 10 episodes, but you know, we're trucking along. We miss some every now and then. This one is going to be a fun one. I think this might be the most people we've ever had at once. It's me, Nick.
Oh, hi. I thought you were just listing everybody out.
Oh
Hi,
no.
hello.
Hi. Flame is here. He's not here often, but
Yo, what's good?
all right. And then we should have DogWater joining. He's being a little bitch and is the reason
We
why
had-
we are delayed.
We've had 4 before.
Fink is already wondering what the fuck is redneck training camp. All right, well that's coming soon. But yeah, so episode 10 game day is tomorrow. So if you're looking for games, that is tomorrow. Also, we're almost 1 month since we've been affiliated or whatever with Twitch. So your Twitch Prime sub might be starting to come available. So you could get a new sick little logo next to your name, right? But first things first, obviously, National Championship is on Monday. It is TCU versus the shitter from the SEC. So, woo! Who do you guys have?
I mean, I think you just have to say Georgia, but I would like to see TCU win, but I think, I mean, there's a reason it's a 13-point spread. I just, Georgia is a very dominant team, and I think TCU is a little bit in above their head. I'm very happy for what they've done this season, but I do think that this is way too big of a game for them.
Now, here's the problem, though. Like, Georgia looked not that great against Ohio State, right? So
Okay, but I still think if you're like, you just beat Ohio State, but it's like you still beat Ohio State. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's I hate to be like that, but it's like you still beat Ohio State. Like the team that was sitting way up top that has one of the top 3 talents in the country, like to be like, well, you didn't beat Ohio State by that much. It's like, okay, like we're pulling strings here. Now, what I will say about like TCU is that I have doubted them many of times. I have said that, you know, like, they're probably going to lose against Texas. They're probably going to lose against Michigan. And they keep proving me wrong. So, I mean, there's a very good chance of that happening, to be quite honest with you. But I think that Georgia is just too dominant of a team.
Flame.
The college football fan in me says go TCU, but I'm also a Baylor fan, so I wish nothing but excruciating pain for the Hypnotoads.
Okay.
That said, I'm going to double down on my bet and say TCU for the pick.
Let's
Wow.
go. I think TCU wins, and it's not close.
Okay, calm down.
And it's not even going to be close. I know I'm the ultimate SEC hater. Obviously, realistic person picks Georgia. I'm not realistic. Fuck Georgia. They're going to lose 42-10.
That's
now,
crazy.
Now, whether or not I actually believe that is a different story, but that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm gonna still keep it real. It's gonna be an above 30 game, so I'm gonna say Georgia 42, TCU 37.
Nice. Oh, we got Nick with a sub. Also, Coach Green, how do you get on the podcast? You literally just let me know. If you want to be on, it's Thursdays at this time every week that there's not something going on. So, yeah. So you can just let me know. So, now, one difference that could be made, though, in this game is Kendre Miller playing? Or is it D. Mercado?
Who the fuck is either of those people?
The TCU running back? Are you high?
I don't know.
Sorry, boys.
Oh,
I had
no.
a pipe bust in the house. Are you okay? Boo.
That's that's a good reason.
I mean,
that is a good reason.
yeah, it is a good reason. I mean, my ceiling's currently leaking, and I'm still doing it this podcast, so you know.
Hey, my house is warm and insulated, and I'm still doing it this podcast.
Boo. Alrighty. Well, no DogWater, I guess. So, I just clickbaited you all with the title. So suck it.
Wow.
But yeah,
Kinda
Kendrick
fucked up.
Miller, he got hurt in the semifinal, and DeMarcado had to come in, and he actually played all right, but he did fumble it once. So I think that might make a difference. But I mean, it's all going to come down to if Duggan and Johnston can connect. You know?
Good Lord. Everybody's fucking cussing out here. Yeah, I agree. I think that fucking everybody just got like auto-modded. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like so hard to say that it even matters that Stetson does well because he didn't even really do that well against Ohio State and they were fine. I think that's the thing is that Georgia's so dominant that they could have an off night and still beat one of the top teams in the country. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel like they really have a weakness right now. And as much like let me just explain. I would absolutely fucking love it if TCU won this game because I hate Georgia. I do not like their fans. Their fans are annoying. I would love it more than anything if TCU won this game. Listen, let me say that up front that I want TCU to win and I will be actively rooting for TCU. My problem is that I just feel like Georgia is way too dominant. That's like my big thing. They just don't have very many weaknesses, whereas I feel like TCU has a lot. That Kirby Smart does a really good job of exposing weaknesses in a team, and I think that's what's going to end up screwing over TCU. They're going to find a way.
Yeah, I mean, it's always like in these types of situations, like Cincinnati last year. Anytime there's like a Cinderella, even in the NCAA tournament, the Cinderella almost never actually wins the whole thing. Like if you think of Butler losing to fucking UConn.
Sad, so sad, dude.
Yeah, Gordon Hayward not being able to hit that shot. What a bitch.
Okay, that was close as hell.
You know, St. Peter's. You know that sort of stuff. But
Look, never really had a chance. So,
well,
but
yeah.
I get the point.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of games, it's when the talent really shows through, and I have a feeling it's going to be Georgia, and it's probably not going to be all that close, but they said that about Michigan, so I'm at least hoping that that we have a game. I think the only chance TCU actually has is if they get out in front early and they play the way they like to play with a lead. Their defense gets a lot more aggressive. Maybe they get a pick six or something or two. So we will see. You guys have any big revelations about the end of bowl season? I want to stay away from USC talk. But
I am still in shock that because I picked them. I don't know what Vegas sees in Texas anymore. I genuinely don't understand why they're still getting favored by a touchdown in basically every game. What do they like? What I don't understand. I don't understand. They keep losing games. How do they keep still getting favored in like every game? I don't get it. They have to be like 2-10 against the spread at this point because every single game they underachieve. And so you would think at some point Vegas would go, oh, you know what? Actually, no, they never do.
Well,
it's crazy to me.
Like, so, you know, I'm pretty nuts, right, about my teams, but Texas fans, aren't they just absolutely idiotic when it comes to their team? Like they could be a 20-point favorite at Alabama and they still put money on Texas. Like, you know, isn't Vegas more so it's just like how people are betting the money, not necessarily the actual talent?
Texas fans are... That's all I gotta say.
Yes, it's like people betting like yes, it's people betting the money, yes, but it's still like Vegas is opening up. I mean, I guess that makes sense. If people are going to continue to bet the spread on Texas, then it's like, why would you ever change that formula? Then, like, why do you, just keep doing it? Because if everybody keeps thinking that Texas is way up there, and they just keep under delivering, then it's like, but people are still putting money on it today. Yeah, I guess I would have to see. I wonder if people are actually putting money on Texas each time they go out.
I mean, it's the Quinn Ewers hype, and then, dude, when Arch Manning starts playing, Texas is going to be insufferable, you know? So it's going to be, like, you're going to see, like, a 14-point spread against some really good team, and it's going to be like, what are you doing?
Victory.
I have a hot
Watch
take.
them be top 5 in 2023.
What's your hot take?
With all the Arch Manning hype.
Here's my hot take about Arch Manning. I don't think it's locked in that he's going to Texas. I really don't. I don't think it's locked in. I think that for a while he was probably locked in. But here's my thing, right? I think Steve Sarkisian is going off the rails. And if I'm like a Manning and I saw that video of him going off on that one guy like he did, like, what do you? It's like an Eli Manning or as a Peyton Manning. Like, do you see that and you're like, oh yeah, that's a good guy for my my nephew to be around? Like, no, you don't. And so, like, I'm not convinced that Arch Manning sticks with Texas. I'm not convinced.
Now, you want to hear an even hotter take? Listen to this, right?
Okay.
Peyton Manning has his roots now in Denver. He's actively involved in the Broncos.
No.
Actively involved in the Broncos. Him and Deion Sanders, I'm sure, have already talked a little bit about him doing some stuff with CU, right? Maybe facilitating a meeting or at least a phone call with Arch to CU. You know what I mean?
No.
Because you got Sanders for next year, and then you'll have Arch coming in. How nice would that be?
He has a better chance of going to USC than Colorado.
Don't hate it.
Well,
I don't, but I just don't see it happen. Like, look, he's going to either Alabama, Tennessee, or Ole Miss.
Hey, I'd be all right with Tennessee. No, because Nico is going there, so we have Nico. I don't want Arch. Arch is overrated.
Now, I don't necessarily think he's overrated. I think for any of these Manning kids that are going to be coming up, because there's a few of them, is like his dad, who's the brother who got hurt. Like, I watched the 30 for 30, and apparently in high school he was better than both Eli and Peyton.
Yeah.
So that's my only thing is, like, it's his kid. You know, he's the first one. You know, the dad's probably living vicariously through his kid a little bit here. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think if any of these kids have a chance of being good, it's going to be Arch. But we'll see.
I mean, I wouldn't disagree. But I think that I've always said this. I think if his last name was not Manning, he would not be the number one recruit in the nation.
Yeah, probably. He's a nepo baby. Is that what they're called? Yeah, you know.
Excuse me.
A nepo baby, a nepotism baby. Isn't that what everyone's talking about lately?
I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, nepotism is like, oh, your dad's the boss. That's why you get this big ass role, even though you never went to college. You know what I mean?
That's what you mean?
Yeah. A nepotism baby. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm just glad we didn't really talk about Tulane destroying my team. Let's move on.
Oh, Tulane!
No.
I just want to say about that. I'm not gonna go on too hot about it, but I do want to say that I felt very confident in USC at the very end there. And I think I saw something on Lincoln Riley that was like, he basically is the choke artist of the country. Like, he loses the most games where he leads late in the game by like 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. I saw that. Now, can you tell me exactly what happened? Because I didn't watch it. They scored and then they like fumbled on the goal line and got a safety or whatever. I was at work. I couldn't watch it.
So basically, something happened. They turned the ball over, and TCU is down by 2 scores. They're down by 15. And so TCU goes down and they get it in. And then they kick the ball off. They're now down 8.
Right.
And they kick the ball off, and the guy returning like muffs the kick and ends up like accidentally batting it out at the 1.
Oh my god, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that's how I think that's how the safety happened.
Yeah, and then the next play they got like no yards, but then the next play they just got stuffed and got a safety. So it was a 6-point game. At which point they got the ball back because it's a safety, and they went right back down the field, marched down the field, and scored a touchdown. Which,
well, I will say though is like everybody all year is like because expansion was a huge topic all season long, even before the season. They're like, no, G5 shouldn't get a bid because they have these down years like this year, right? And blah 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 blah. Blah. To this Tulane team, talk about a down year just because they had 2 losses. They beat Kansas State, who won the Big 12. I know what happened against Alabama. Don't even talk about it. And then they beat USC. It's like they at least those are 2 teams that would have 100% been in the playoff and the expanded 12 anyways. Like they could have at least won a first round game maybe and made maybe a little bit of a run.
I love how you're like, oh, they beat the conference. They beat this team that their last game was disappointing, and then they also beat this other team that their last game was that they would have been.
Chill. All I'm saying though is like those are teams that they would have faced in the thing, and they got wins over them. So you never know. If Tulane if they would have beaten USC because that was a probable matchup, right? A 5 versus a 12 potentially after. Them dropping out of the top 4. Then going on, and what if they were the team ahead of them was Michigan, who absolutely shit themselves that game, right? Like they did not look all that great. So that's all I have to say about it.
I agree.
All right, well, let's move on. We're going to start off with a little bit of trivia. Now, I was digging around the stats of the SFA and found, I think, some tricky ones for you guys. So I'm going to put them up on the screen. I'm going to give you guys like a minute. You can actually discuss it and talk about it because nobody knows the answer. Nobody can actually look them up. So the first one here is currently, as of right now, in the SFA, who has the most career passing yards? Marcus Davis, who's the quarterback for Boston College, Lou Ishar, your quarterback at Tennessee, or Arch Manning at Buffalo?
This is like active.
Yeah, as of right now, week 7 of season 10, most passing.
But what I'm saying,
yards.
Most passing yards out of only active players.
No, out of these 3.
Oh, out of these 3,
yeah.
So just
at this point of time in the SFA, most career passing yards, and then we have Marcus Davis, Lou Ishar, and Arch Manning. All right, I'm going to give you guys a full minute. The prediction is out. So who do you think at this very moment it has the most career passing yards? So some points are going to Marcus Davis. Now, Marcus Davis and Lou Ishar are both in their 3rd year in the SFA. Arch is only in his 2nd. So
someone just spamming 10 points on Marcus Davis.
Yeah, lots of Marcus Davis action. Only 10 points on Arch. You guys might want to put a little bit more, otherwise, there's no points going around. Man, all the action's on Marcus Davis right now.
Wow. 1.9K.
1.9K. Everybody thinks it's Marcus Davis. That's funny.
Because
It's not letting me. It's probably because it's over. Okay, so the person who currently has the most passing yards, Marcus Davis has the least. He actually only has 2,400. Lou Ishire has 3,400, and Arch Manning has 3,600.
Yes!
Arch Manning. Yeah, oh my God. Nick put all the money on Marcus Davis. Or no, everyone who puts money on Marcus Davis, it goes to Nick. So you just made $2,000.
Let's go!
What a absolute fleece.
I fleeced so hard.
So Marcus Davis, if you guys remember, Mills would just put him in for a game or like a drive, and he'd rack up like a few hundred yards each season. This is his first season really starting, and he has like 1,200 yards at this point. So definitely not.
I figured, because my thing is like I didn't know whether or not Lou started the year before I got into the SFA, but I don't think he did.
No.
Yeah. So his last year he barely played because he was either injured or I was starting Cardale. And so I was like, Arch has just been getting thrown out there since day one. I was like, there's no way Arch, like, yes, yeah, I didn't know about Marcus Davis. Marcus Davis was a wild card. I didn't know his situation. But I was like, Arch probably has more than Lou based off of playing time.
Yeah. So 3,600 to 34. I thought everybody would put it on Lou, but you guys went Marcus Davis. All right. Now it's time to get into more of the fun stuff. I need a drum roll. Da 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 da. Where's my drum roll? Flame, I need a drum roll from you. All right. Bam, Vanilla Nick. Yes, sir. Vanilla Vic. I win the fantasy football league, so I get myself a 90 overall running back.
I think you are a scared man to not roll on a 1 to 100 scale. Because to be honest, I think that's the most fair because did technically have a 1% chance.
No. Flame, how do you even feel about it? Like you knew it was over like on Sunday. Did Flame die?
Flame? Oh, hello?
You ready?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if we can really hear you. I don't know if like your mic's away from you, but we can't really hear a word you're saying.
All right, Flame is dead.
Flame.
I guess I killed him with my great announcement here. Yeah, so he is going to be the reward player. That's his name. He's a running back. And then...
Alive, I think.
There you go. There you go.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
Feel a little cheated.
Whoa!
Something.
Here's the thing.
Overall,
I really do feel like a 1 to 100 roll would be the most fair thing because he did have a 1% chance.
Dude, I laid it out last night. Even if all three of those guys had their best performance of the season, all I would still have needed is 14 from Higgins, which he has done 6 times this year. That's BS. There's no chance in a January game, playoff atmosphere for the number 1 seed, that they would dog the Bengals that badly.
I think you're terrified. I can't believe you're terrified of a 1 to 100, like 1 in 100 shot, of a 1% chance.
Absolutely terrified. You can call me a weenie or anything, but yes, I am terrified.
But isn't that the point? Like why? Like you were not like super easy about it going into the game. Why should you all of a sudden be easy about it now? I started thinking about this and like. I agree if we're just going to call it, like if we just have to call it, then like whatever, you win it. But like there's a solution to this. There's an easy solution
That's not
to
a
this.
solution. It was less than 1%. It doesn't go down further. That's what it doesn't go down further. They're not going to be like, oh, Flame, sorry, 0.00001.
But the thing is like there was like it wasn't out of the realm because he did have those big playmakers.
It was a 10% chance.
buddy.
I know it's not super
Gabe-
likely.
Gabe Davis hasn't scored more than 10 points in like
Oh my
2
gosh,
months.
he's so scary.
I
Here we
am.
can go that route.
This is supposed to be my victory tour, and it's being ruined.
I don't think. Okay, you know what? It could be your victory tour if you just roll that,
No.
and no one will ever question it. But until you do it,
all I am asking for is a little bit of compensation, like a 75 overall or like 50K in the recruiting.
I think that's
okay,
fair.
I'll give you 75K as a reward for making the playoffs. You're welcome.
no. Oh, that's not even cool though. Like you have to give him something on
is.
top of it.
No,
Oh, you can't like
it was
be like
100K in the
okay.
playoffs.
You can't be like
75K on top
guaranteed
of
win
it.
for me. You can't be like guaranteed win for me. Also, there's no like if you you have to understand. Like here's the thing
Don't
is that
put all of your eggs on the Bills. That's the
okay,
problem
but
here.
but the problem is like obviously there were some special circumstances. If you're gonna say okay, well I win, you still have to pay him out something, like a little something. Like that's 50K is nothing in the grand scheme.
Take some advice from Finkelschmidt here in the chat.
Oh
The
my gosh.
solution is take your L. He gets nothing. I agree. I think that you can't get rewarded for making the championship and then losing it, even if it's whatever happened. Like, no.
I think you're absolutely terrified. And I think that I think you're absolutely terrified, and I feel like you should either
How about
A,
this? How
give
about
him
this? How about
50K,
this? How about
or
this?
B, roll a 1 to 100.
No. None of that. How about this, Flame? If you know how we all at the beginning of the year, we always do random draft selection. I'll let you pick which spot in the draft you get. How about
Dude, that's not fair to
that?
everybody else.
How is that? Whoa! Now you're caring about everyone. This is the same thing. Everybody else is like, okay, well, if he gets, whatever for losing the championship, then why don't I get a free win when T. Higgins went out after the first play of 2 different games?
I can't believe you're scared of a 1 to 100.
I am, because it's 1 in 100, and I'm the schmuck that gets fucked over. It happens every time.
How? It literally doesn't happen every time. It literally is a 1% chance.
When you roll it, it will be a guarantee.
How about a 1 to 200?
All right, Flame. Pick a number between 1 and 100.
Pick a number between 1 and 100. We're gonna do it right now. I'm gonna hold on.
No.
right.
What's the number?
70.
What's the number? 70. All right,
70.
I just rolled it. It was 76. Sorry.
No,
Nice
I was gonna
I
share
did
my
it
screen.
right
We were all
here.
gonna look at it together, but you did it on your own little thing.
See,
Like,
here's-
you didn't do it.
Think, where's
You have
my
to do it where everybody's
75K for
watching.
losing? No, see, this is just not
You have to
happening.
do it.
Vanilla
you have to do
Vic
it
is
whenever-
coming to ECU whether
You're
you like it
so
or not.
scared, man.
Okay.
I have no clause for this.
Recruiting budget. That's my final. That's my final offer.
Huh?
Look, get,
150K recruiting budget. That's it.
No! What?
here.
What
Can
are
we?
you- are you high?
Honestly, we're gonna squash this right now. We're gonna squash
I
this right
can't
now.
open that stream while I'm streaming.
Okay, well, I'm showing you. I understand, but I'm showing you for validity purposes.
But I can't open it.
But I'm showing you too for validity purposes.
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Okay, Flame, pick a number 1 through 100.
All right. I'm gonna stick to my guns. It's 70.
Okay, do you both agree on the terms?
No.
No, just say you agree on the term. It literally is not gonna hit. It's literally not gonna hit.
It is,
It's literally.
though.
It's
It-
literally not gonna hit
it
70.
is. It
We will
will.
squash it. I will not stop on this until you just accept it and just move on. It's not going to hit 70. Just accept. Just accept.
See, here we
It
go.
literally is
Now,
not-
now McNasty wants money for letting me into the playoffs.
No,
Okay.
no. Everybody gets to. Everybody gets
No,
to shut up.
He gets money
Listen,
for playoffs. That's not
Everybody
it.
gets to. Everybody gets to shut
No.
up once this doesn't hit a 70. Okay,
It
I'm
is
trying to help
going
you.
to hit 70.
I'm trying to help. I'm
That's
trying
the
to help
problem.
you.
You're not trying to help me. You're gonna fuck me
I am.
over. No,
Literally, this is literally
This
okay.
is-
You know what you get to say after this? You know what you get to say after this is that I took my 1% chance and fuck all you guys. That's exactly what you get to say after this, and it's completely valid. Versus everybody's gonna think weird about it until you just do this.
Everyone's gonna think weird about it when I
Everyone-
clearly had the best team. Shame.
Okay, you know what you get for
Not going to happen.
do you agree on, like, honestly, like, I feel like this is the best, this is
I
like the
don't
most fair best
agree.
way. Please
Look at the
please just let
score.
this-
I beat him by 80.
but there was still a 1% chance. That's
no,
the problem.
there isn't. It just doesn't. Okay, the
1
what
in
he
200?
had to do, right?
1 in
can
200.
You can no. It's not even 1 in 200.
Oh my
if you
God.
calculate a 6 divided by 17 chance that T Higgins gets 14 points. Okay, cool. And then you have to take the 1 out of 17 chance and multiply it by all 4 of those by each other to figure out.
Okay.
It's something like 0.000000.
No, it's not. No,
I'll
it's
do the
not.
math
No,
right
it's
now.
not. That's not how it works, goofball. Because the thing
Okay,
is you
1
can't
in
say that he
17
has to.
is a 5% chance of happening.
No.
So if you times that by itself, 0.058 times 0.058, you get 0.00019. So 0.0002. Okay, cool. But 6 divided by 17 is 35.
That's
so
not how
times
this works, you
0.0002.
goofball. That's
So,
not how this
okay.
works.
Flame had an actual chance of winning of
It's not going to happen.
0.0000071.
Then take those odds.
Okay, do 1 in a million.
Okay, 1 in a million. Will you do 1 in 1,000? I feel like 1 in 1,000.
No!
You're scared of 1 in 1,000?
Yes, because I know I will be the shitter who gets screwed. It happens.
You're scared of
every time.
1 in 1,000. Flame, would you take 1 in 1,000?
For the love of God, I'm taking 1 in 1,000. It doesn't happen. The fuck?
So you're saying yes, you would take a 1 in 1,000 roll, and if you get it, you win.
I mean, if I get it, great. If I don't, that just means I lose money.
Well, it just means that you get the same rewards you would have gotten if you would have just gotten in second, and there's no debate about it.
Or you could have the second place and just move on.
Okay, TC, do you accept 1 in 1,000?
It is literally just 1 in 1,000 for
There's a-
50K extra recruiting. That's
Bro,
it.
I can't even watch it, so no.
What do you mean
If-
you can't even watch it?
Let me think about it. Let's finish the podcast, and then maybe you could do it in the public VC at 1 in 1,000.
I guess we'll do it. Guess we're doing for an after party then.
Ay.
Uh,
These idiots, man. They just, anytime I win something, it's just,
The reason I'm doing a roll is because everybody's doing that. I'm trying to just squash it. I'm trying to be over with
you're
it.
adding to it. It's just DogWater.
I'm not adding to it. That's the point, though, is everybody's still talking about it. Everyone's still talking about it. And I think, honestly, the fact that it's like, okay, well, I guess the solution is just because here's the thing, is here's what you're not considering, is that if Josh Allen has a big game, if Gabe Davis has a big game, Josh Allen's going to have a big game too. You're not considering that. You're saying that, like, oh, well, because they only do like that one time, like they would compound on top of each other. That's the thing. And if other thing is if Buffalo's defense has a really good game, then T. Higgins would have a really bad game. So that also compounds. It matters because it compounds. It matters. It matters in that way, though. That's why it matters. That's my point. Is because it's not 1 in 16 to 1 in 16, and you times them together, because that doesn't make any sense.
I'm going to poll. So you guys are all polling Bryce Young's on me. You're saying that even though I'm 80-point lead in going, but he has Josh Allen, I'm the underdog. No.
You're not the under. No one said you're the underdog. We're
You're
giving you a
saying that he
99%
would've
roll.
won. You're saying that he would have won.
I'm not saying that he would have won. I'm saying that there's like a 1% chance that he would. I'm saying that there's
You know
a 0.1% chance that he would have won.
I'm fine with the villain Vanilla Vic arc. He can be the most villainous
my
person in
God.
the SFA. I don't care. He was won fair and square.
Terrified coach ever. You're the
I
most
am.
terrified.
I am. I lose to a 62 overall quarterback. I need all the help I can get. And Vanilla Vic will be.
I'm just saying, if this were reverse roles, you would also be saying something. Like if it were me in the championship, Oh!
I would complain about losing, but I would take it because I've lost so many close matchups this season on Monday Night Sweats. But and T. Higgins multiple times has shitted on me by saying he was going to play and then leaving after 2 snaps and getting a 0. I lost to Sky Flyer by half a point. Anyways,
I honestly don't really care either way. I'm fine with whatever. My only point in doing it was just so it would be over and everybody would shut the fuck up about it. Because I thought that there was basically no chance that you lose that.
Except there is a chance.
All I was asking for was a 1 in 1,000 chance in getting 50K extra recruiting. That's it.
I do. Here's the thing, though. I do think that Flames, there have been a lot of fantasy leagues where they have, in fact, been okay, hey, since this happened, we're gonna give you because this happened, we're going to kind of figure it out in a meet in the middle sort of way. My problem with what you're doing is you're not meeting in the middle at all.
Because
you're saying,
I'm
getting
up
the 90
by
overall.
80.
Okay, but it doesn't really matter because the thing is there was still a chance.
It's not like I was sweating. It was just me just watching the game, having fun, knowing I was going to win.
How about we do a poll?
No poll.
In the Discord. No. We do a poll in the Discord. It's not majority. No, listen. Hear me out. Why are you being so You're not moving on this. We do a poll. 70% or more of the Discord has to agree. Oh my god, you're not. TZ, here's the problem. Genuinely, I'm actually getting frustrated because you're not moving on it whatsoever. You're actually just not moving on it.
I would do a 1 in 1,000 chance.
All right, we're doing it. Go.
I'm gonna get fucked, and then it's a whole thing.
1 in 1,000.
I gave up my BearCave already, so it's
you're not going to get fucked.
Time.
My whole point in doing it was
I'm going to get fucked. It's all right. Let's move it on. I know I'm going to get fucked. You can write it in Vanilla Vic is going to flame. It's happening. I'm going to lose. It's bullshit. All right. Anyways.
I was not asking for Vanilla Vic.
Move on.
Why don't you just inflate? All right. Okay. All right. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this segment.
All right. Anyway. So, because somehow I'm the only big city person in the SFA. I don't know how that happens. Maybe that's just college football fans. But apparently there are a lot of cultural differences between my lifestyle and where I live versus what the majority of you guys experience over on the East Coast and the South whatever. All right, buddy. Just a background, I grew up in Denver in the city, then I moved to Phoenix for college, which is one of the biggest cities in the country, and then I moved right into the heart of Orange County in LA. So, I know nothing of any of southernness at all. East Coast is not the Beast Coast. And so they're gonna test me on stuff, teach me. I will say though, the one thing about you Southerners is you pronounce everything wrong, no matter what.
That's not true. That's.
Nick, say where you go to watch a movie.
The movie theater.
It's so incorrect.
It's not. It's
theater.
Huh? Theater.
Movie theater.
You understand? There's A's in there and shit, right?
Yeah, it's called being silent. Theater. I'm not Mater.
Oh, come on.
Theater. Anyways, I don't know if you guys have something. It's not okay. Ignore the Kermit part of the voice. It's theater.
Theater. Okay, I want to give you a term, and I want you to guess what the term means. Okay. Okay. We're doing this segment. It's Southern terms. Here we go. You may know some of these, so let me know. Hussy.
Isn't that like a hoe?
A little bit of a hoe. Yeah, hussy is a hoe. Good job. You got one.
Is it good or is it bad? If she's
it's bad. It's not if she's a hussy, that means that she is messing around with your man.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. He could eat corn through a picket fence.
Yeah,
His teeth are fucked up.
Yes, actually.
Really?
How did you know this?
Let's
Yeah, his teeth
go.
are fucked up. Did you just guess? Was that a complete
Well,
guess?
I'm like, you could eat corn through a picket fence. I was thinking like maybe like they're long, like maybe like a donkey or something.
It just means you have like almost like buck teeth. It's like
Yeah,
you
so,
would say that
like,
about people who have buck teeth.
You're kind of fucked up. All right. I'm
Okay,
vibing
okay.
so far.
Okay. Commode. I think you know what a commode
No
is.
fucking clue what a commode is. What is that?
You don't know what a
is that
commode is?
Is that like a type of ice cream, like an Alamo? What the fuck is a commode?
Okay, a commode is a toilet. You didn't flush the
chance.
commode. I am telling you,
Nobody
100%.
calls that a commode.
100% people absolutely do down here.
Buddy, where does that even come from? Commode.
I
never even heard
don't
it in
know.
my life.
I don't know.
It's
But
like
people
there's-
definitely are like, he didn't flush the commode.
What?
People, I mean, literally, I've heard many
Hey,
people
dude.
be like the commode stopped up.
He didn't flush the commode.
That's-
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I'm telling you, 100%. Okay,
Aye.
Okay, buggy.
So like obviously horse and buggy is like a cart or a carriage, right? But I'm
Yeah.
just assuming it's just like a pickup truck or
In our
just a car?
modern terms, buggy.
Is it like a regular like 4-door sedan probably?
Nope. Doesn't have anything to do with the vehicle.
Nope.
What? Buggy. Is it like I don't know, like he's buggy, you know, like he's like
Nope.
like he's
Not a
on
verb.
drugs.
Not a verb.
No, look, it still has to do with cars, but it's
Not
not
really.
like a 4-door sedan.
It's not cars. It does have 4 wheels. It is a shopping cart.
I live in my buggy. No, I don't see
Oh,
it.
look, I thought
Yeah,
you were
okay.
going like
Buggy.
I thought you were going like dune buggy or something like that.
No. Buggy. Like it's you. Whenever you go to the store, I mean,
Oh,
I
you're
literally
going-
said this
yeah.
myself. It's like I have to grab a buggy before I go.
What
yeah.
are you? You grab a cart.
Yeah, that happens.
Is
No, it's a
there a
buggy.
basket? Is there a cart? A shopping cart?
No, like,
Shopping cart.
Hey, I need to grab a buggy. Will you go grab?
I
me
gotta
a-
get
yeah,
me some cheer wine in a buggy. I don't
Okay,
understand.
okay.
All right.
All right. Thingamajigger.
I mean, isn't that just anything that you don't know the name for, like an item?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes,
I've
it
heard
is.
that
Nice.
one.
Nice. Okay. The devil is beating his wife.
I mean, is that like a domestic? It has to be like domestic abuse, right? Domestic violence.
Nope.
The devil is beating his wife. Is it hot outside?
No.
You're like beaten off.
Nope. It does have to do with the weather.
Are you sweating?
No.
I don't know then.
It means that it is raining and the sun is still out.
What? The devil is beating his wife. That makes no sense.
It's because it's like it's still shining through, but it's like it's meant to be like the like the sun's still out, like it's like hot, red out, whatever, but it's like there's still water coming down. So it's like the devil's wife is crying. The devil's beating his wife.
Even though they're below us.
Listen,
Alright.
it's a southern thing. I don't know what
Yeah,
you want
you
me to
guys
say
don't
here.
know which way's up.
Okay. I'm telling you that. Listen, it's a very central thing to us. Like
Alright.
if you said like it's basically only in the Appalachian Mountains that people will say the devil is beating his wife. Some people will say sun shower. Some people will say stuff like that. It is definitely.
I
the devil is
don't
beating
know why
his
I'm
wife.
trying to overthink this stuff. I mean, it's Southerners, right?
You're like, is it beating off? I'm like, no. Do you think someone 30 years ago would have like made
I'm
up a
beating
term
my
for
wife right
beating
now.
off?
Like, yeah, I don't think any guy with with an actual conscience would say that.
Dude, there's some fucked up dudes out there.
Yeah,
Especially,
no,
especially in the South.
that's
Okay.
why I said with a conscience.
All right, move on.
Okay. Do you know what emotion is tied to a wet hen?
Okay, I don't even know that one, Chief.
Emotion is tied to a wet hen.
Yep. A wet hen. If someone is talking about a wet hen, what emotion are they talking about? What emotion are they referring to?
Man, I'm as sad as a wet hen. I'm gonna go with angry.
Yeah, it is angry.
Angry.
It is angry.
All right.
They were as mad as a wet hen. Yeah, not happy. Not a happy wet hen.
Okay, yeah. I don't like being wet, so I can see that one.
I feel like you know what britches are.
Not just pants, or is it overalls?
It's pants. It's pants.
That's how
Gumption.
all pants are overall. Gumption.
Gumption.
Gumption. Does this have to do with shrimp, like Bubba Gump shrimp? No? Gumption. I don't know, dude. You guys all are into like the Cajun stuff. I've never had Cajun food. Gumption. Like, do I have the balls to do something? Yeah?
No.
Okay.
No. It's kind of like
I had the gumption to punch you in the face, you know?
no. I mean, not really. It's more like an old Southern man's way of saying swag. Like, he's got gumption. She's got gumption.
Oh, man. Yo, I'm dripping in gumption today.
I'm gumptioned out today, boys.
My gumption is out. And
My gumption is out.
Yeah, that one.
That one, I don't know about that one. And how
Don't
much
ever tell someone
gumption
you're
can
gumption.
okay, so in the South, what is considered having gumption? Like, is it like the cowboy boots, a cowboy hat, some nice denim jeans, you know?
And someone's got some gumption on them.
Yeah.
I mean, she may be walking in. I mean, it's really just like, yeah. I mean, she may just be like make-upped up to that day. You know what I mean? Like she may come to church in her new boots and some makeup. You know.
That's kind of about it, really.
It's kind of what.
I said that's kind of about it, really.
Yeah.
So down there, it's like all flannels, blue jeans, and cowboy boots.
I mean, not necessarily. No, I wouldn't say like no. I wouldn't say it's all like just everybody's wearing. I mean, I wear athletic shorts and a t-shirt every day. Like it's not like we're all just down here rolling mud.
Look, it's not all of us, but you'll find more of it in
for sure
the rural areas.
I have a friend who will just shoot guns in his yard and wears like overalls and wears camo all the time. And on a nice day, he might wear a purple flannel out to the bar.
Oh yeah, yep. That's exactly what I picture all of the South to be. Every SEC fan, that exact picture.
Okay.
Well, it's not. But that's a good. Like that's a good. I want to say 40%.
Yeah, I would say it's a good 40%. Yeah. Okay, last one. If you tell someone to quit being ugly, what are you telling them?
I mean, I'm gonna state the obvious. You're fucking ugly. Like, stop being so. Like, put on. I don't know. Take a shower. Like,
Nope.
You know, do some hygiene.
Nope.
Not quite.
Not quite.
Stop being ugly. What is it like? Stop being an asshole.
Yes.
There it is.
Stop being an asshole. Quit being ugly.
That's why you guys call me ugly when I'm roasting you in the server.
No, that's not why.
Look, no, that ain't it. We're legit calling you ugly there.
We're calling you both. You're an asshole.
I am a professional hater. I can channel my inner Skip Bayless.
You know, one of my favorite things about the South is that sometimes I'll be driving through town and there will be a bunch of people out in the field, and I'll be like, "What are they doing?" And they're doing a Civil War reenactment, and I think those are so funny.
They're LARPing.
Yeah, they're LARPing the Civil War.
Exactly what
exactly where it happened.
is.
but like where it happened, like where people
Oh.
actually died, though. It's
God
not like
damn, that's
Yeah.
kind of
they're
fucked
like
up.
like there's literally a part called is it called the Battlefield? I'm pretty sure it's called the Battlefield, and it literally is like where one of the deadliest wars in the South happened during.
Yeah, like
and
where
people will go in there and they will literally like role play dying out on the same field where people actually died like 200 years ago.
Dude, like imagine being a ghost and just being stuck there, and you're like, oh, here comes these motherfuckers again.
Yeah, people do that all the time. That's crazy.
God,
That's a crazy
that's
one.
fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a crazy one. You have any questions about the South?
Do I have any questions about the South?
Yeah,
Why do
anymore.
you like the SEC?
Oh my god, this guy. Because it's
Hey,
I don't
seriously?
know, because that's a bad question. That's a
I
bad
know,
question.
I know.
It's obviously it's because it's the best conference. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
I don't have to really speak too much on that one.
I mean, like, yeah, I don't. I've been to Texas a couple times, but that's not necessarily the true South. That's like the.
Oh, you'll get shot for saying that.
Well, you know.
Look, take it from me, the native Texan here. Texans are crazy. But I personally don't believe that Texas is, really part of the South. But
Here's the thing. The South that you're thinking of, like, okay, the people in the picture that you have up on the screen are not Texans. They
Exactly.
are in
Yeah,
the
that-
Tennessee hills, hid away somewhere. They're,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
a
Like,
lot of them.
they're in the Appalachian Mountains, and they haven't seen people in like 40 years outside of like their own 130 people that live in their small community.
I was hoping you could
Yeah,
tell
no,
me
but look.
what help me. What does this guy have in his hand? Like, I see that
It's-
there's beers, but like
Yeah, what do you mean?
is this a thing? Like, where you guys like tape all the beers together and put a thing on top? Like,
Yeah, it's the tape the beer game. No, I don't know what the fuck that is. What
I was just wondering. Okay, fuck.
I don't know.
No, that man. It's just taping some beer together. I don't.
Ay.
I may have lived in Texas for 5 years, but I'm not that southern.
Well, I know you lived in Illinois, so
Yeah, so
You know, some people will actually, because they want to like save power or whatever, and they don't really like. People will actually dig out. People actually dig out like holes in the ground to store food because the ground is cooler, and so they just some people like up in the mountains will do that because it's just like it saves them money. So they like put their eggs and shit and like their like meats and shit in just like a hole in the ground, which is really funny to me.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's super funny to me. Like, I mean, if you're in the city, you never have an issue with power unless it's like out for a couple hours with like rolling blackouts in California. But I mean, like, I don't know. Some of that stuff's like if I got stuck in like a rural area with no power, and I would not be able to survive.
No, here's the thing. No. That's the opposite. Because if you all of a sudden, if let's say the world just didn't have power, okay?
Yeah.
There are so many people in LA that would just shut down and die. These people that you're looking at in this picture would survive another 200 years. They they just do it every day, and so it's like it doesn't matter to them. Eventually, I don't even know that they would stop. Maybe like water purification may be a problem at some point. I don't really know, but regardless, these people would absolutely like you would be in a best case scenario if you were around people like this.
Well, yeah,
1,000%.
like I'm saying is I can't survive. I'm way too much of the city folk.
Well, just come on over. We'll
come on over.
We'll
I'll let you ride my finest hog.
I mean, I don't feel like people really like own like, especially I don't know. Like I live in Chattanooga, which is like somewhat of a city, right? So it's like it's not a crazy city, but I mean I've lived in the thick of it. One thing that was actually really gross that a lot of people did at our school was that a lot of people dipped, would put a dip in, and instead of throwing it away, they would just throw it up whenever they were done at the ceiling.
Oh.
And so and so there was a stairwell that we had where people would do it a lot. And so you would look up and there would just be 80, 90, 100 wads of fucking dip.
Just imagine you're walking to class and you get hit in the face by a couple dip falling from the ceiling. Ugh.
I'd throw up.
Dude, I tried dip one time only. I was shit-faced drunk and my friend's like, oh, try dip, and it was the best 10 minutes of my life. But I was swallowing the shit out of it because I'm plastered, right? And dude, then all of a sudden I just puke my guts out.
Yeah, you don't want to swallow. You don't want to swallow it. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, just peer on, just sucking on that bitch. Not a fun night.
Yeah, I remember my first time doing it. I was terrified. I was at a high school football game. My buddy gave me some.
All right. Any more redneck or country questions?
No, we gotta get moving. We're almost at an hour in the podcast.
God damn, we have a lot to go. All right. Well, this is just an announcement. The playoff committee, it starts in week 10. A lot of you guys haven't been here before, don't know how it works. It's 5 people. You must have voice chat. The meetings take place right after game day every week. So there's 6 total meetings after week 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then after the conference championships, that's the final one. Obviously, it's just 5 people. There's no bias. You must be civil. It's just basically a group chat like this where you just talk through and I show you guys all the rankings and you decide 1 through 25. If that's something that interests you, let me know. You have to DM me that you're interested in being on the playoff committee this season. If you can't make every single meeting, that's okay, but you do need to make the majority of them. We have to have at least 3 people every meeting in order to do it. Those who were on it last year, which was me, Nick, Flame, Ron, and Rick, cannot be on it in the first go. So I'll do the randomized pick, and then the top 5 are chosen. If we need an alternate, then we'll allow you guys to be selected, but we can't be on it 2 years in a row.
Okay.
If you're interested in being in the playoff committee, let me know, and I'll talk about this during halftime tomorrow as well. But yeah, we all did our service last season, but we can't create like you gotta have different committees, right? Give other people a chance. So yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah.
So I can't rig ECU in this year. Shame. I mean, you can't talk about your own team anyways, but all right, we're going to go into the second trivia question of the night. So you guys all got the last one wrong because you're trash. So let's see if you guys get it right.
I got it right.
Okay, so which SFA player listed below currently has the most career passing touchdowns? Is it Brett Huntley? Is it Jeff Driscoll out of Georgia Southern? Brett Hundley's on Toledo. Or is it Chad Barber at Cincinnati?
Career passing TDs.
So both Brett Hundley and Jeff Driscoll are seniors, whereas Chad Barber is a junior, but he was a freshman All-American. So Brett Hundley, Jeff Driscoll, Chad Barber. All right, so it's going to be a minute. Pick and choose. This is the best way to get yourself some nice channel points. What do you guys think?
I'm going with a little bit of an underdog here, I think. I was going to go with Jeff Driscoll, to be honest with you, but someone already put money on them.
Yep. That was on me. I really don't know who it is, so I'm just guessing.
Oh, someone going big on Chad Barber, though.
Really?
Oh, someone
Oh,
going
a lot.
extremely
A
big
lot
on
of
Chad
people
Barber.
putting money on Chad Barber. Okay.
Oh wow.
Some Chad Barber truthers out here. Now, Brett Hundley does lead the SFA in career interceptions. So,
Did
I
you
don't know.
actually? You just put fucking the money on Chad Barber, as you said.
I don't know.
You did.
I didn't know you could look.
Oh wow.
Wow, Nick's cheating out here.
Anybody can.
Really?
Anyone
I'm
can.
trying to help you guys.
Anyone can, you goofball.
All right. Well, the answer was Chad Barber's in third. He has like 60-ish. And then Jeff Driscoll, I think, is at 63. And then Brett Hundley is in the lead, I believe, at like 70. My God, you won it again.
I am just going fucking crazy, dude.
You are correct today.
I've made over 3,000 points today.
There you go. All right, so moving on. This is for Pinstripe. I don't know if he's even watching, but we're talking about the Hall of Fame. So he does bring up some interesting points here. So the Hall of Fame, if you guys didn't hear, this year's inductees are Garrett Grayson and Marcus Lattimore. No one in the right mind would disagree with that. I mean, they're the only two players to win the SFA Player of the Year, and they were the two best players in the NCAA 14 era. But Pinstripe has this to say. So, genuine question, how is Brandon Scherf not in the Hall of Fame? 98 overall, drafted round 1, 3-time Team of the Year selection at line, and declared after his junior season. What else do you guys want from a lineman? Is there no path to the Hall of Fame for an O-lineman in your minds? Baffles me that 2 cycles have gone through and the Huskers center still has not been inducted. So I have 2 points on this one, but I'm going to let you guys talk first.
You know, to be quite honest with you, I'm gonna shoot from the hip here. I probably wouldn't have voted Brandon Scherf anyways, but once he tried to convince me to vote him, I put him out of my mind. I was not going to let my vote be swayed.
Yeah,
I was voting
like
myself.
Yeah, I don't want people to sway stuff, like it's no fun if somebody gets into the Hall of Fame, rigged, right? So, no. I think in general, the average viewer, there's a few reasons. Is one, on streams or in game, offensive linemen don't get the ball, so you don't actually watch them. You don't watch their story unfold. It's just like at the end of the season, we look, oh shit, he had 50 pancakes. Okay, we'll put him in Team of the Year. Yeah, he's great, but I think Hall of Fame wise for the SFA, we don't necessarily have all that many getting in. I don't know why people are gonna why you think people are gonna vote for somebody that they never actually watch on stream. Like Garrett Grayson, there's so many moments on streams. Same with Marcus Lattimore. Also with the awards and the fact that they both made playoffs. So it's and then another thing is your team success. He's coming from the Nebraska Huskers, who this is their first good season since season 4. They've been an absolute shitter the last 6 years. So those are my thing. But yeah, I didn't vote for him either. I think he got 3 votes.
Yeah. I hate to compare this to the Heisman, but really just what offensive line, or even really defensive line too, has even been mentioned for a Heisman or anything else besides best lineman ever.
Yeah.
I somewhat agree, but I mean, I think it's hard to judge. I think is one problem that there is with it, right? Like you were saying, I don't want to say that a offensive lineman could never win it, because I think if an offensive lineman is out of school for a very long time and that's a very playoff team and they're known for having good offense, I think that's merit. right? Especially if he's like the top offensive line, because I do think a lot of the offense, kind of one of the trenches, right? So I think like I don't think it's out of the question for an offensive lineman to win one, but I think it's like you would definitely, as like a media person or like as the coach of that player, have to like really keep up with the story yourself and like really kind of make sure guys knew throughout his career why he was so important as a building block of your team.
Yeah, like for me, I think my votes mainly went more towards like if I'm talking to somebody and telling them what the SFA is, like can I tell the story of the SFA without this player? Yes. I don't need to mention a Nebraska offensive lineman. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but I have to mention Garrett Grayson. I have to mention Marcus Lattimore, Matt Barkley, and all these guys. Now, I will say that to Flame's point is I think there is a defensive lineman that's out of the game that should get consideration, and that is Dominique Easley from UAB. Because if you guys were on Sim Matchup, he had the best performance ever. It was like plus 19 in a game. And then he also helped lead them to the playoff in the NCAA era. So I just think that's kind of like one player that I might mention. But I think in general, it's going to be very hard for somebody who doesn't get like a few pick sixes on stream or doesn't make a bunch of plays on BearCave or something like that, or has all of the like media circus around them like players like Heimlich does or Chad Barber to ever sniff the Hall of Fame.
Or like, big time recruits.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is like, it's hard for a Heisman to get a Heisman without a Heisman moment. Hard for a Hall of Famer to make it in the Hall of Fame without a Hall of Fame moment.
Yeah, exactly. And everybody who's made the Hall of Fame has those moments.
Yeah.
And congrats, Flame, on your first Hall of Famer. Woo woo.
Sweet.
You and McNasty get your players. I look forward to Heimlich joining you in a few seasons.
He will. Question is, who's better? But that's a debate for later.
Well, I think for Heimlich he's fringe right now. For him to make it in these last 2 years, either I need to make the playoff or he needs to make like Team of the Year or stuff. But his Hall of Fame moments already happened, so I think.
Well, no.
I mean, but okay. Here's the thing, right? Is like, yes, I think that's like a Player of the Year moment. Is it a Hall of Fame moment though? Like, yes. I think like because here's the thing. Like here's the thing, right? Is because it is in a regular season game that yes matters, but like if he has that in a playoff game or like like one like a really big like conference championship game or something like that, then I would say yes. But it's not so crazy that it's like Hall of Fame moment.
Well, I think it fully will depend on how this season turns out for me, because like if I end up like 9-4 like last season, then it didn't even matter. It just helped me not get fired or have to spin the wheel, right? It was just another dub.
Right.
But if I end up losing only to like Notre Dame and then squeak into the playoff with the auto bid and then wind up winning the national championship or something crazy, like then sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Pinhead,
I
you're
think...
wondering why? It's because no one cares about a Nebraska offensive lineman.
Not as much as not as much as like if Nebraska made it to the playoffs and went on to like do really great things. The problem is his team didn't really go like pop off. So
Right.
like
it's a matter of, hey, we actually care about Nebraska now, mainly because of Johnny Manziel.
Right.
That's kind of it, really.
Yeah, it's like Nebraska would need to be good, and then we need to see him in a playoff game or something, like make a few pancakes on a screenplay, like leading to a touchdown, or stuff like that. Like it's just super unlikely. And honestly, there's 5 lineman spots, the most out of any position on Team of the Year, and there's no like position specific spots for like center, left guard. Like we just fill them in, so it's not necessarily all that difficult to get on Team of the Year.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I think that's pretty good reasoning. I think like just not the moment. Not the moments that we're looking for. Not like I don't think it's unfeasible for someone to be in there, but I just don't think like, and I think that's like kind of the same for Heimlich. I think for Heimlich to have a chance into the Hall of Fame, I think that he needs to. I think I would even say like playoff one time or like one playoff win would get him in. I think it'd be hard to say he deserves a spot in there if ECU never really does anything with you know what I mean? Like it would be hard for me to give it to Heimlich if like some of those other guys had gone on big playoff runs.
Well, give me Vanilla Vic and it will fucking happen.
I mean,
All
listen,
right.
you're getting Vanilla Vic. You are getting
Yeah.
Vanilla Vic. Congratulations
Yeah.
on that. But I'm just, you know,
We'll see if I give Flame a participation trophy or not. All right. So, but the main reason Flame is on today is because he wanted to make an announcement. Nobody knows what this announcement is, so we're hearing this for the first time. So take it away, Flame. You're on the podium. I quickly spliced together your profile pic to be on the podium, so take it away.
All right. From this moment on, I'm here to formally announce that this is my final year at Baylor, regardless of what happens.
oh
Yeah.
damn, dude, what? Oh no way.
Are you taking questions?
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely taking questions. So shoot.
All
Why?
right. First of all, yeah.
Why?
All right.
Why?
I asked my question. Why?
Yeah. Oh. It's pretty much time for a new adventure. I feel that I've taken Baylor as high as it can go, and I think it's really time for me to move on. Now, as far as where I'll be moving on, it's really clear. It's
Oh.
pretty much going to be either a Big Ten job, an SEC job, or Louisville.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. He's dropping
Now-
all that stack on this table. That's crazy.
Here's the next question. What made you decide to, I'll come back this year with a 5-star quarterback and a 5-star running back that you can't move from Baylor now? You're just sacrificing them. So do you feel like you fumbled the bag like Schroeder on the Lakers, or are you you know?
Oh no,
how-
this is really just my version of courtesy, to be fairly honest, to not leave the cover like super bare. But yeah, no. That's really it. I'm really just like leaving them some courtesy.
Flame is a savage. He's just basically telling him, I don't need these 5-star players. I'm just restocking the fridge on my way out. Dude, but
Well,
in all seriousness, this is like you are the most successful coach in the SFA. This potentially is going to be 5 straight years in the CFP. Obviously, we know that you haven't had much success once you get there, but still
True.
impressive. So are you taking zero blame for your playoff losses? Because you said this is as high as Baylor can go. Who takes the blame for the losses in the playoffs?
Oh no, I'm fully taking the blame for him. Now I won't take the blame for like the Clemson loss. Well, I won't take the blame for Arizona season 4. Was it? Look, Clemson I got outright destroyed. Like there was no coming back from that. Michigan was a choke job. That was absolutely on me. We really didn't have a good kicker. That's on me for recruiting. But
Oh yeah, that loss hurt. And then you lost.
no,
Then you lost to Barkley, and his last win was over Flame. That was a fun one. So
You know what this feels like? It feels like Dabo Swinney leaving like Clemson. It's like, or like Jim Harbaugh leaving Michigan, or I think it's more like Jim Harbaugh leaving Michigan because it's like Jim Harbaugh just kept getting there and realized at some point that it just wasn't going to happen, right? Because it kind of feels that way anyways right now, right? And
yeah,
so
that's really how it is. Because I really just feel like this might be as high as Baylor can go.
So
right, but I just cannot. I would find it funny if like Jim Harbaugh went on the stand and was like, "Yeah, just not. I don't know. They just can't really do it." I just feel like, it's like, okay, well, like, is it because you never got past? And it's like, well, I feel like that's my fault. But that game in 2017 was definitely not on me. And
No.
Oh, no.
I'm channeling a little bit of Jim Harbaugh and a little bit of Brian Kelly, except I'm not lying to my players. So, yeah.
All right. Now, here's a real question though. Like, I think a lot of your success, honestly, with the new recruiting system, has came only because you've consistently had the highest budget out of anybody. So, do you think that you can actually put together some decent pitches and still compete at a high level in these recruiting class rankings each and every year at a lower school? Or are you just going to have to hope that you find early success to get your big budget back?
I think it's really going to be based around really me actually having to start to recruit. It's now, I know that some pitches, aren't exactly going to work anymore, but it's really just going to be a matter of me finding, well, what can actually work, doing a little bit of research on the school itself to see what I can use, and really just, actually putting in effort on recruiting again.
All right, so what is your dream job if it opens up this offseason?
If I can get it, my dream job would really be Illinois. Second would be Louisville, and if I had to put it down a third, it would probably be, I want to say,
go to Florida.
Florida State.
See, that would be an option, but they're like number 2 in the country right now, so that's off.
But wait, no, but why couldn't you go to Florida?
As far as why not Florida, actually, now that I think about it,
you would have you would, like, am I wrong? You would have like 5 playoff appearances. Like, a Florida would definitely want him. Am I wrong about this?
It would just depend how Florida's season ended. No, but he has the highest coach. He has the highest coach prestige out of anybody, so he can.
Like, he can basically go wherever he wants. It opens up.
Yeah, Flame is probably the only coach who, if he wanted it, could get an Ohio State or an Alabama in a down year.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, like the only reason Florida's off my list is because like they're like number 2 in the country right now.
Yeah, I think
they're actually my third.
I think if
like
the season,
if Florida falls off, if Florida like falls off and just pulls to South Carolina, like Florida's like my third.
Yeah, because like if season ended right now, the only 2 jobs you wouldn't have available to you would be Ohio State and Florida.
Yeah, that's wild.
So
those are pretty much my top 3.
He's gonna have the pick of the crop. Hey, maybe Tennessee offers him over Coach Nick Weathers over here.
What if me and Flame just swap positions? He takes over the balls. I take over Baylor.
Trades Coach Flame for Nick and some draft picks.
Nick and some draft picks. I'm worth it alone. What the fuck you mean? I'm sick. Come on.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, nice announcement. Let's move on. All right, game day in week 7. I know you guys were roasting me about this game day, but I think with the ACC falling off, this honestly might be one of the last chances for somebody to actually pull through that isn't Boston College, like as a contender in this conference. I think whoever loses this is pretty much out. Miami might stumble their way into the championship game at like 4 or 5 losses, but if Florida State wants any chance to compete with Boston College,
So we get to see Lemons on a full display.
absolutely.
All right.
Hanging out there, Braxton's balls all over the defense. We get to watch it all. Jake Johnson. And then Miami, you obviously got Matt Barkley, who's their biggest booster. They have a new starting running back, SFA player. They have God's power offer on the defensive line. So lots of guys on both sides.
Now, this is a little bit of real life here, but I've heard that Miami's, building some new facilities. So who knows? A win over Florida State could, really boost them around.
Ooh.
No, I've heard that Miami's like building like some like new practice facilities. This
Yeah, I
is
saw
like
that.
real life. But yeah.
Nick, this is your chance to roast my game day choices.
No, I mean, listen, I think that the best game day choice would have been ECU Southern Miss, because it's 2 user coaches and 2 pretty successful G5 schools that I think would be like one of the better G5. Like this would have been a good week to represent the G5 as a whole. I would have actually really liked. Okay, all right. I would have liked to have seen some representation of the G5 this week, because I think that the game between Notre Dame and ECU is like a good game, and it could be a good game, but it could also fall off incredibly, because all it takes is like 1 or 2 ECU losses, and really honestly only 1 or 2 Notre Dame losses for that game to essentially mean nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the game between SMU and ECU matters right now, and I think there are a lot of other games in the week because like this is kind of a down week anyways, right? Like for like a game day. I think that it makes a lot more sense because it's like so much later in the season, and because there's so many like big conference games that are happening that weekend, whether it be like Ole Miss LSU, or it be, there was another one, I think it was like Michigan State Minnesota even. I know that would be a repeat of both of those, or both of those teams. Has Michigan State already been on? Yeah, but I feel like it's big enough to where I think if that game were like, if it was like a top 5 matchup, I would still feel fine about like doing that. I think most people would too.
Yeah, after week 10, it's okay to start repeating.
See, that's what I mean. Is like I just feel like there's gonna be so many bigger games than ECU Notre Dame. No, and it may not even be any fault to ECU. It may be a fault of Notre Dame. I just think it's like. Yeah, go ahead.
I also kind of had Southern Miss as like the 4th game day choice on my schedule, even like for a possibility. Like first, obviously, is if it happens, ECU Notre Dame potentially, if we're both undefeated or something, could be like legitimately a battle for a playoff spot. My second one though, it would have been the ASU game, because I know that was going to be an early. Probably top 15 matchup, but then ASU decided to start losing. And then I actually had a potential ECU versus Cincinnati game higher, just because I think the Chad Barber storyline is a lot.
Yeah, when is that game?
That is either next week or the week after. So if there's not really much going on that week in terms of like, oh my God, this is a must, or like if a lot of the good games are locked out because somebody's already been on game day, then I'll put ECU and Cincy on there, see if Chad Barber can beat me again for the 4th time in a row. I
think there are so many more like monumental conference games right there at the end of the season where like it will matter in terms of conference seeding. Versus that the game between ECU and Notre Dame just will not matter at all in terms of conference seeding. And I like in terms of like basically most of the season, and it could like really be inconsequential, that I hate to already pencil that game in.
Well, it's like I'm just leaving it open. I like everybody else. It's like, yeah, I'm fine giving you a game day, and then past week 10, sure, I'll give you another one. I think personally for ECU, if I get a game day, it's only going to be one. And I don't even need a game day for ECU, I don't think, because I'm on BearCave so much as it is. Like, it's not really that big of a deal.
I want to see the boys, though. I want to see.
I want to
Heimlich
see,
out there.
and I already got Hale Heimlich, so I'm kind of like, if I don't get a game day, but if it completely just depends on the CFP rankings and the situation that week. Because like last week at this time, we were talking about South Carolina being the best team ever, and they finished 7-5. So we'll
Never know.
We'll see if there's major changes.
Really hope Baylor Iowa State ends up getting another game day because
That
might be my
was
last
right
game.
now for me. That's the best game I've ever seen in the SFA, and it was a BearCave game. So we'll see. All right, guys. Well, this one ran really long. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being on, boys. I guess we're gonna immediately go to public VC to roll a 1 in 1,000. But if you have any questions, quickly put them in, and I'll answer them, or whoever will answer them. No.
We're open to questions. So
I actually have something that just happened that I want to talk about really quick.
All right.
So the Buffalo Cincinnati game has been officially called a no contest. It just happened like 3 minutes ago. It just got announced.
Okay.
In terms of the playoff race, this is really interesting. If Buffalo and Kansas City tie in terms of like let's say, okay, so if Buffalo and Kansas City both win or both tie, a Buffalo versus Kansas City championship game would be at a neutral site.
Weird.
really,
Scenario 2, if Buffalo and Kansas City both lose and Baltimore wins or ties, a Buffalo versus Kansas City championship game would be at a neutral site as well. So basically,
there's no home field.
Okay, if Buffalo, scenario 3, if Buffalo and Kansas City both lose and Cincinnati wins, a Buffalo versus Cincinnati, a Buffalo or Cincinnati versus Kansas City championship game would be at a neutral site. So basically, almost no matter what, if Buffalo and Kansas City have the same result, they will have another game at the end of the season that will essentially be, instead of like a bye week for both of them, it will be like just like a playing game for the 1 seed.
wow.
That's so interesting. Am I wrong about this?
Heck?
Am I wrong about this?
What?
Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not wrong. I don't want to say anything that's wrong.
Yeah, there's a coin toss.
What do you mean there's a coin toss?
Okay, here's this scenario. If Buffalo defeats Cincinnati in Week 18, it will have defeated Cincinnati, a divisional opponent, twice, but will not be able to host a playoff game because Cincinnati will have a higher winning percentage for a 16-game schedule than Baltimore with a 17-game schedule. If Baltimore defeats Cincinnati and if those two clubs are scheduled to play in a wild card game against one another, the site for the game would be determined by a coin toss. If Cincinnati wins the Week 18 game, or if Buffalo and Cincinnati are not scheduled to play one another in the wild card round, the game sites would be determined by the regular scheduling procedures.
Yes, I am wrong about this. Sorry, I was just reading the thing. Okay, so I was just reading the scenarios. Okay, so I understand now. If Kansas City and Buffalo end up in the AFC Championship game, they will not play at either of their home stadiums. It will be at a random stadium. Okay, that's what I'm understanding. There's not an extra game.
No extra games.
So it's just for the AFC Championship. If the Bills play the Chiefs, then it's a neutral site game.
That's actually a fat L for both teams, though, because they're both so good at their own stadiums. At least so Arrowhead. So
yeah, that's really interesting.
It's going to go to a dome for sure, right? I mean, what's halfway between Kansas City and Buffalo as far as stadiums? Like, I doubt they'll go outdoors. What dome? Is it going to be Ford Field again in Detroit?
I think Chicago would be a better.
But dude,
No,
it's
No,
gonna be
Chicago's
cold.
outside.
It's gonna be what?
Cold.
Chicago was outside.
Like I feel like if
So,
it's neutral site, they'll make sure it's like a dome.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. Wild.
it might be Detroit again.
Neyland Market.
Neyland. Let him in Neyland. That would be sick.
NFL game in Neyland. That'd be something.
I mean, why not be open to a college stadium, right? Like, have some fun.
Honestly, might as well have some fun out there. Screw it. Yeah, put him in the shoe.
Oh god. Or maybe the big house.
The big house. Put him in the
That
big
has
house.
more
Dude, that would be
seats.
so sick.
Yeah, look.
The only problem is
how-
that doesn't fix the cold problem.
Yeah. Damn, that's wild. Well, I'm glad that they're not though, like completely pushing everything back a week or like, because that fucks up everyone's travel plans and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is what it is. All right. Well,
But,
we're gonna.
okay.
Or good.
Sorry, I apologize. One thing I will say, how does it fuck with people's travel plans? Because like
Like a
nobody's
fan,
really.
a fan who's going to the Super Bowl, they spent like 10,
Okay, but, like,
10 G's going to the Super Bowl, and now they have to change their flights, or they have to.
You're just saying like a general NFL fan is just like, oh, I want to go to the Super Bowl. Like it's like because like if you're a Buffalo fan, I mean, sure you can buy them, but it's not like I mean, like have you already bought your tickets to the Super Bowl? Or are you that convinced that they're gonna get
No,
there?
but I mean, like people. There's a lot of people who, like for like let's just say a Christmas gift, right, from a very bougie family. Oh my God, I've always wanted to go to the Super Bowl. Well, it's in SoFi this year. It's pretty, It's
Oh, okay,
a
so
grand
it's-
stadium. Why don't we go and I'll take the week off from work, right? And you're like, okay, Dad, or whatever, and then they go, and it's a week later. I can't take off work. I already got this week off. You know what I mean?
I see what you're
I
saying.
see what you're going for.
I don't know. I just think it creates a lot more shit show. I think they made the right decision just canceling that game and.
That's fair.
Because
Yeah.
it's not like it's a bubble team versus like they both already clinched playoff spots. So it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
Fair. Cool. Yeah, fair enough. All right, well, wrap it up here.
All right.
Well,
Well,
let's not see any questions. So
yeah,
Yeah.
no questions. Alrighty. Well, thanks for watching. This will be available on YouTube right after this, like in 10 minutes. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.
all right.